All right, let's talk about the current political and financial situation that Canada finds itself in. I also want to touch on Trudeau 2.0 in the form of Mark Carney and the impact on the Canadian housing market. So just to recap, we've had about a decade here of a Liberal-NDP coalition. So a left-wing radical socialist government here. They have completely run Canada's economy into the ground. All the jobs they've created is in a bloated public sector. They have completely decimated the private sector, which should be the backbone of the Canadian economy. But this is a predictable outcome. Whenever you have these socialist governments, eventually you run out of other people's money. You run up massive deficits. All the investors, the investment capital leaves. You get capital flight. People move their money to more tax favorable jurisdictions, or they put it in an offshore tax haven. And this is what we see in Canada. So we are becoming, unfortunately, in my opinion, a welfare state. If we continue on this trajectory under the Liberal government here, we are going to become the North American equivalent of Venezuela. So be careful with these when you vote in these socialist governments. They're very, very dangerous here. Matter of fact, I was watching an interview with Jordan Peterson talking to the former CEO of BlackBerry here, and he was suggesting this economy is in terrible shape. He was saying we're 70 cents on the dollar. We're going to be at 50 cents on the dollar, US dollar, before long here. There's just too much regulation, too much red tape, government interference, and just a very hostile business environment. So I saw a ray of light here with the Conservatives under Pierre Poilievre. Small government, less regulation, lower the taxes. Let's galvanize the free market enterprise to build the millions of homes we need. Let's invest in infrastructure projects. Let's build pipelines here. The Liberals, of course, know they were unpopular, and so they jettisoned Trudeau here and installed Mark Carney, who is he's a socialist, he's a globalist. He was the main architect of the carbon tax, big proponent of that. He shelved that now because he knows it's unpopular, but they will be bringing back not a consumer carbon tax, but a corporate tax, which of course that doesn't get absorbed by corporations. That gets passed down to the end user here. The media narrative, though, and the fear-mongering by the CBC, CTV, Global News, they're trying to push the narrative here that, of course, it's all Trump all the time right now, 24/7 Donald Trump. They're trying to push the narrative that if you vote for Carney, he's going to stand up for you. And if you vote for the Conservatives, they're going to sell you out and we're going to become the 51st state of Canada. That's what they've run on, and it's worked. The Liberals now are leading in support here. This is very dangerous. Personally, I think we're going to be in a long, protracted recession if the Liberals get in again. More of the same. It's the same government, same actors. Krista Freeland, Carney, who's the financial advisor to Trudeau. It's the same party. Nothing's changed. But what I read the other day was that Carney's plan here is for the government to get into the business of housing. Well, good luck with that. You need to engage the private sector. If we're going to build the millions of homes that Canada needs, government can't build on the scale. And if you think that the government can build to the type of standard that a developer like Bosa or Concord Pacific can build on, you're delusional. These are going to be Soviet-style social housing. These aren't going to be homes I'd want to live in. But it's this whole narrative that government's going to step in and build you all a free house. It's a pipe dream. It doesn't work that way. Government is not particularly good at allocating capital and building homes. But you need the free market to do that. And right now, they've strangled it. You know, this whole Liberal-NDP, everything they're talking about, it's a pipe dream. It will be more of the same, more deficits, more spending like drunken pirates, probably more inflation. It's going to be a terrible outcome. Canada cannot afford another term of the Liberals under Carney, or as I call him, Trudeau 2.0. They're carbon copies. I'm Jay Coupar. Feel free to comment below or subscribe. See you in the next video.